Well, I wasn't going to compete with the noise and the fireworks. The crowd inside Main Road loved that. At the moment, we're shrouded in mist and smoke from those fireworks. But if the match lives up to the build-up, this will be quite a contest. Andy Farrell and this Wigan side say they prepared for this as if they were 80 minutes away from a major final. Martin O'Fire and Henry Paul. And on the other side, well, there's Mike Catt, of course, an England international, and Adebayo is alongside him. Sean Edwards, in Super League these days, sporting a bleached haircut, I fancy. And Chris Radlinski, the Wigan fullback. Wigan, let's just emphasise it again, champions for the last 7 years, cup winners 8 out of 9, Regal Trophy 7 out of the last 10, 4 premierships, plus World Club Champions 3 times. Against Bath, the 6-time Courage League champions, 10 times knockout cup winners, they have picked up 4 league and cup doubles. You could not wish for better fare on a rugby field anywhere in the world.
League or union, welcome to tonight's groundbreaking, earth-shattering encounter.
It is a match that many people thought would never ever take place.
Do we have any Bath fans here?
But the two sides are here. And they are now being introduced to this crowd that has turned up at Main Road for the Clash of the Codes Part 1. Paul O'Connor, Horton, Cassidy and Farrell. On the bench, Smythe, Murdoch, Quinnell, Johnson, Coach Graham West.
Number 3, Neil McCarthy.
The opponents tonight from Bath. Lumsden, the fullback, 3/4, Slightholme, de Glanville, Waters and Adebayo, Catt and Callard. The forwards, Yates, Sanders, Haag, Vander, Ojomo and Robinson. And on the bench, Butland, Redmond, McCarthy and Pearce. And the coach, Brian Ashton. As we said earlier in the build-up to this match, it will be interesting to see how Bath adapt to the use of substitutes. The match referee for this groundbreaking occasion is Russell Smith, one of the top officials from Super League. This is the first leg of the Clash of the Codes, Main Road, Manchester, for the Rugby League version, and the 25th of May at Twickenham for the Rugby Union.
That's how we're becoming back together again.
Sean Edwards, Schoolboy Rugby Union International, Schoolboy Rugby League International, the most decorated man in the history of the 13-a-side code. So here we are at Main Road, Manchester for Clash of the Codes Part 1. Super League rules for Wigan and Bath. Great to have Jamie up alongside us here. And we shall sit back with you now and enjoy the action to come. Referee Russell Smith just checking that everything is right. And here we go, and that's a typical Rugby Union kick-off. It didn't go 10 metres though. And that is going to be a penalty to Wigan on the halfway line.
Well, we hope that Russell Smith would have a little bit of flexibility in the rules tonight, but he had to bring that one there. It only went 80 metres. He couldn't allow that to continue.
So here come Wigan. It's... Well, I'm just checking on the numbers list. That's Neil Cowie wearing number 8. He should really be wearing 25, but Cowie wearing 8 tonight. This is Edwards, and here's Paul. He misses out. Connolly and finds Twigamala. Now that was a great tackle on Twigamala by Adebayo. Copybook stuff. The referee has penalised Bath for holding down in the tackle. The penalty has been quickly taken.
Well, you could see the flop there by Fraser Waters. He came in very late. That's going to be a problem for them.
And it's Martin Hall who gives the ball to Simon Horton. Good defence from Bath on that occasion. It was Adam Vanders getting a good tackle in, that a bit short out wide. And this could be the first try for a foul. But the referee will look at the touch judge, and the touch judge says O'Fire had a foot in touch. Flag is up.
Well, Bath will obviously be grateful for that, but certainly their tackling has been pretty good as we see this again. Quite right, touch judge, definite foot in touch.
Super play though by Wigan. Here's the tackle there. Adebayo really put his body on the line. That's what's needed throughout, but a close shave there.
And that's John Slightone, and he's feeling the full weight of Paul and Farrell. And Bath trapped inside their own quarter line. Yates, the man tackled. He gets up, plays the ball quickly to Sanders. Good defence this is from Wigan. But they're making yards, the Bath players, and that is important for them. They will have now to listen to the referee for the tackle count.
Well, you can see that Bath trying to keep the ball tight in the forwards. Kevin Yates taking it up there, but it's quick stuff, and that's good pressure from Robinson. That's why the mistake came about.
Adebayo took his eye off the ball and looked for Robinson, and here goes Jason Robinson. And Bath have tried desperately to bring him down. Eventually they get there, and it was the figure of Jonathan Callard who was in there quickly.
Good tackle also by Mike Catt. He went low.
Paul to Connolly. Connolly drags O'Fire back on the inside. O'Fire with pace this time to go round the outside and score the first try. No doubts this time, Russell Smith awards the 4.
The first try is
Quick hands from Connolly. The link out wide from Sean Edwards. Look how Paul does the in and out and steps. And you can see they just held back. And he handed off the man there. There was nothing they could do about it. The fullback, Audley Lumsden, had no answer for it.
Well, that's absolutely right. Henry Paul made the initial break, I suppose, and that switch there, Connolly to O'Fire, going at real pace. I think that's what caught Bath out. Their first time tackling's been pretty good, but when you miss one, you'll see Phil de Glanville, I think, get handed off. Yes, it's Phil de Glanville who misses that one, but once O'Fire's at pace, most people are going to come second.
Martin O'Fire with the try then. He improves the angle for the conversion. O'Fire, the man of course from Roslin Park. He came north on the 27th of July 1987. And a man who knows exactly where the try line is. So first conversion of the evening, or the conversion attempt from Farrell. Left-footed, and Andrew Farrell makes no mistake from that range. And Wigan have a 6-0 lead.
This really applied the pressure to Bath. It was Robinson. He was in and out and all about. And you can see that there's so many defenders go to him. They were caught exceptionally tight. And soon as Robinson got to a position to play the football, there was always going to be the overlap out wide.
It's Wigan who have the kick-off. And they did well then, for a moment. It was Adebayo who got a hand to it, but I think the referee looked at the touch judge and said the ball was out of play.
Yep, went over before Adebayo got anywhere near that one. And this will be a drop out from underneath the sticks.
The thing that's amazing me in these first 5 minutes is the pace of the game, and that's what Bath are just not used to. There's just no breaks in play.
Yes, there's not much time for them to catch their breath, is there? Good tackling, though, there by de Glanville and by Callard. Bath will certainly have to look to the experienced heads here. Boundless energy from Simon Horton. 5.5 minutes gone. Wigan ahead 6-0.
Well, you can see there, when they played that ball, Wigan, that the Bath side, 3 men were still getting back into a position on defence. We knew it was going to be a problem for them.
Henry Paul with the white boots. Oh, that's good play. Well picked up, and that was Sanders. Usually a scrum half, but playing in the hooking role tonight. And there's Steve Ojomo, clattered by Henry Paul.
Did well, the hooker there, put himself in position, knew that the ball was going to come back on the inside. Big Twigamala goes in.
And they force the number 17, Audley Lumsden, out of the field of play. But look at the hit by Twigamala.
Look at the strength. Lumsden was surprised there. It's the first real tackle we've seen from the big man Twigamala, but it was good and it was strong.
I think he was quite happy Audley Lumsden going to touch, to be frank with you.
Sean Edwards will feed this scrum. He gets the possession and finds Henry Paul, who spreads the play out wide to Radlinski. Fire is dragged back on the inside again. Oh, he turns Lumsden inside out and scores behind the posts. Well, it's the power play of Wigan. And Martin Fire, 2 from him. Second try.
From a Fire. He knows that they're just going across the field.
Twice he's been brought back on the inside. Twice he has made Bath play, and they must be wondering what's hit them in the opening few minutes here. Andrew Farrell scored with the earlier conversion attempt. This one is bang in front. So you would imagine that in a few seconds' time it will be 12-0 to Wigan. And the perfect start for the Rugby League champions. 12-0 it is. And at the moment Bath struggling to cope with the pace and power of Wigan. Steve, I think that is the most alarming facet of the game so far. We've only been going 8 minutes for Bath. The fact that they first of all can't get out of their own quarter, and secondly the pace and the power that Wigan are producing.
They can't get the possession and get it away from the first man. You can see that the disciplined Wigan defence, and we saw when that try was scored that there was 2 men left all on their own, and the pack of forwards, not used to running and covering, was stood in the middle of the field. It's going to be a hard night, I feel.
But they can play, and they have a penalty, I think, for a swinging arm.
Neil Cowie throwing a little one. Well, we said it might be a bit of a celebration. It was pretty high, and swinging it too. And Adam Vander, who's worked hard in defence as Vander, he looks a useful prospect. And he got a bit of a high one from Neil Cowie. Well, nerves are tingling. It's pretty tense out there.
Mike Catt with the penalty. Adam Vander, the man who was hit. Been in the second team all season for Bath. And the Rugby Union double champions now in Wigan's territory. And that's Kevin Yates. Man who learned his rugby in Hong Kong. Catt and Robinson, and back to Catt. And this now is de Glanville taking them on. Henry Paul in the white boots, getting back to cut the space down. Now the big fellow, Haag. Mike Cassidy is a man not to tangle with, but Slightholme did. Catt
looked forward, and it was.
Referee Russell Smith giving no leniency whatsoever, and a little sly look from Mike Catt.
Well, they tried to reverse on the blind side, and you can see it was forward.
Yeah, they've got to try every trick though, Bath, I think, to try and get pretty close to this Wigan line. They've done well, they've fought back well. Territorially, it's the most encouraging place they've been so far in the game.
Now they have to defend as Andy Farrell picks up and gives it to Radlinski. Good tackling. Catt was in there quickly, Robinson in too, and the considerable figure of Ojoma was waiting. Here's another considerable figure, Twigamala, who gets the ball to Robinson. Robinson cutting inside his namesake. Still going Robinson, gives it to Sean Edwards, out wide to Connolly. Bath is stretched out left, Connolly though comes this way. Good tackling on him by Philip de Glanville. Neil Cowie at dummy half. Edwards out to Farrell. Farrell, little dummy, ball inside to Radlinski. It would have been a try. Farrell takes the tackle instead. Fire the dummy half. Edwards. Paul steps inside, and he's on his way to the line. Henry Paul, he just left Fraser Waters for dead. The sidestep, and Waters had no answer. And Henry Paul, this magnificent talent from New Zealand, was through.
Try scorer for Wigan that time, number 6.
Once again, Wigan keeping it alive, and you'll see the skills here of Henry Paul. And Waters takes the dummy. Look at that, simple step. Fraser Waters had no idea. And we've mentioned it before, and I'm afraid we're going to have to mention it again. It's the fact that they don't have the sliding defence. Waters, even though he took the dummy, there was no one coming in to fill that spot. Easy for the star from New Zealand, Henry Paul.
Yeah, I just felt the waters came up too quickly, so any check by Paul was going to beat him all ends up. I think they've just got to come up a bit slower, you know, in one line, and I think that might help them a bit more.
Henry Paul with an easy walk-in try in the end, but the step and the dummy around Fraser Waters was a delight to watch. And Farrell adds the extras. It's 18 points to nil. Wigan are ahead at the start of this intriguing week for them. Tonight, then the Middlesex Sevens, where they'll play Richmond first up. And I'm sure that Henry Paul will be involved in those Middlesex Sevens on Saturday, an event you'll be able to see with us here on Sky Sports. He's in fine form. Now Bath at 18-0 down. Next Saturday, 11 a.m. on Sky Sports 2 notice, we'll be exclusively live at the Middlesex Sevens, where Wigan will be attempting to win the trophy. And Steve-O, in this mood, they look as though they're in the mood to win everything in sight. But that's bad play by Bath. They've surrendered possession.
They really are on top, and it looked like Adam Vander it was that lost that football. They can do without the elementary mistakes.
Don't think they have ever been treated to such intensity. And the pressure is coming at them again from Farrell.
Well, you can see early, 13 minutes into the game, and they're still hanging back. They're not moving forward as a line. There you see him. It's like the dog's back leg, and that spells trouble. You have to have a straight line of defence against a side like Wigan.
Martin Hall into the arms of Paul Edwards. There's a ton of support out wide. That could have been classed as a knock-on from Twigamala, but Robinson's picked up the pieces, and Robinson goes in. And the Bath players look at the referee, Russell Smith, and I think they believe that perhaps the ball was knocked forward by Twigamala, and from up here it looked like they might have had a case. As it is, the try is scored, and Robinson is the man who goes on the score sheet.
Well, I'm sure that Twigamala got a fingertip to this, and then it just went forward. Well, they were looking to get away with that one, but you can see the ease that this man... Look at the evasive run from Robinson. Pass out wide, Jamie.
Yes,
I think Twigamala gets to it. That's a forward for mine.
Yeah, that's right. The referee was already on the try line, I think, and probably didn't see that too clearly. But Robinson, as you rightly say, his elusiveness is amazing. I think the thing that's really destroying Bath at the moment is from these restarts, that they can't get out the 22. They haven't got the runners to make the territorial advantage.
Jason Robinson with the try, happily back in the fold at Wigan. 4 caps for Great Britain, 5 England caps. He was in dispute, but he returned against Paris Saint-Germain at the weekend. Now Farrell, 3 from 3. This to make it 4 from 4. And Farrell maintains the 100% start to the match for him. 24 points to nil, and all Bath's worst fears are being realised here.
Well, we anticipated that they would struggle in defence. I thought perhaps they'd be a little bit more organised than that. But we see that the forwards, they move up. The backs don't go with him. But the elusive skills of this man, Jason Robinson, tremendous player. Hard to stop in any code. I reckon it'd be hard to stop if he played basketball too.
Chance for Bath to build once again. Big Steve Ojomo using his considerable height and weight. And he gets Bath to the 20-metre line. Good run from him. Wigan have made a couple of changes, by the way. Henry Paul and Farrell have gone off, and 2 of the young guns have come on. Rob Smythe and Andrew Johnson. I fancy, Jamie, Bath will be glad to see the back of Henry Paul.
I think they won't mind if he stays off for some considerable time, to be frank with you. Bath haven't got enough Steve Ojomos. By that I mean the runners, because he's the one that could make a real dent in the Wigan defence, I think.
Haag plays the ball. Oops, and he nearly went without it, did Kevin Yates, but he held on, and he's got Bath to the halfway line. This is the last tackle now. Their kicking is going to be important, and that's where Cat comes into it. He drifts one over the top. They've seen out, I think, the first set of 6, Bath, in that little passage of play, and that's good chasing.
Good kick and chase there, Mike Cat. Tremendous kicker.
And Slightholm was up very quickly, the number 15, to pull the full-back down.
Well, he's the man that they say is faster than Martin of Fire. Let's hope that he gets the opportunity. But interference had to play the ball. They wouldn't let him get on with it. But to be fair to this Bath outfit, they must try everything possible to slow things down.
It was Jonathan Callard who had hold of Connolly's ankle, and Connolly was trying to get the ball down to play the ball.
That was better from Steve Ajomo. He's a big boy. When he hits them, he can crunch them.
Andrew Johnson now in the red head guard. But Steve O'Bath need not be too despondent about this. Wigan have done this to a few rugby league teams in the past.
They sure have. And they're doing okay, and that's another good tackle. That's the way Audley Lumsden put in his body on the line. That'll lift their spirits.
That won't. O'Connor. Terry O'Connor gets the try. So easy. Just brushed the tackler apart. But I noticed when that tackle from Bath went in, there's a huge bank of Wigan supporters behind those posts, and they rose to the tackler, Audley Lumsden, bigger than a cheer for this try.
Number 10.
It's a nice pass, though. They can see they're just walking through. Jonathan Callard just went up far too early. It was easy, also easy. But look at the big tackle here. Now, they've done all the good work. Audley Lumsden went in over the top. But this is where they suffered, because they just rested. And Callard went far too quickly onto his opposite, Sean Edwards. An easy pass out wide, and the prop forward.
Yeah, went over pretty comfortably. Good line from him, wasn't it? But it's the pace that does it again. When you normally make a tackle, you get a bit of respite. But in this game, there's none at all.
I take it, Jamie, you wouldn't like to swap places with any of those Bath players and be out there at the moment, then?
Oh, my hamstring's been dicky for some time, Eddie, to be frank with you. Stuart Barnes is pretty keen, I think.
Well, they might be calling on Barnsley at half-time. Martin Hall takes over the goal-kicking responsibilities, and nothing changes. Wigan ahead now by 30 points to 0. Terry O'Connor, the try-scorer, though, the only member of this Wigan squad that hasn't yet made it at international level. But for how long? He's in fine form. And John Slightholme, I think, is having to go off the field. He's clutching his nose, I think, so this will probably be a blood bin substitution, providing the referee has said it's okay. Anyhow, Slightholme is off. Good run, but the man's in touch. Twigamala with all the weight in the world. And he picks up number 11, Adebayo.
Trying to keep his feet in, did the big Adebayo there, but far too strong. They'll find it extremely difficult to get through. They're a very strong outfit. And as Eddie mentioned earlier, rugby league sides have been under the pressure of this great Wigan side.
Tell you what, Steve, that's a harsh call by the touch judge on Adebayo. I don't know whether he actually did touch the line.
Oh, yes, he did. He just lifted his feet.
He won't give them anything, Jamie, will he?
Well, the thing is, we've got to take this serious. Don't worry, when we get back to Twickenham, they'll be doing exactly the same with us. We've got to play by the rules. We can't just bend them.
Well, these marginal decisions aren't going with Bath, let's be frank. I mean, the knock forward and obviously that one with Adebayo. But here's an interesting sight, a scrum.
Yes, a scrum. And what's more, Bath get the possession from that scrum, courtesy of Andy Robinson. He has a little look at Neil Cowie and has a word with Cowie. Butland has come on because Slightholme has gone off into the blood bin. Well, let's go downstairs and hear from one of the Bath players sitting on the touchline and waiting to get onto Main Road. Nigel Redman is with Bill.
Nigel, is this the start from Wigan you feared?
Oh, absolutely. You know, I mean, I think full credit to our lads for the sort of tackling that we're doing. You know, we're giving it a go. But obviously, you know, when you're up against the best of the world at their own sport, it's what you expect.
It is defence really where you're going to earn your points tonight, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, I mean, the lads out there at the moment are trying their hearts out, you know. It's about the closest we've got to their line so far. But, you know, we'll keep banging away. That's what we're like. And, you know, who knows, if we can grab a couple of tries later on, you know, we'll be happy as long as we don't make complete fools of ourselves, which, you know, 20 minutes gone, I don't think we have, then, you know, hey, it's a historic occasion, you know, it's we're really just pleased to be here.
Nigel, thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot.
Well, the referee, Russell Smith, judging that the Bath player stole the ball in the tackle. It's allowed 1-on-1, but not 3-on-1, and he's right.
Jonathan Callard, yeah.
was in.
Well, full credit to the referee, Russell Smith. He brought over Callard and said, look, I know it's pretty hard for you guys, but it's only 1-on-1 situation. Pretty difficult for them. But they are certainly putting in a damn good effort.
Well, it was a lovely kick downfield from Cat and a great chase by the rest of them. Cowie with that run, met thoroughly and squarely by Kevin Yates. This is O'Connor, and he takes on the big number 8 Ed Pearce.
Simple basic football from Wigan, that's all. Using the forwards to drive down the middle, and then the switch of play by Shaun Edwards. Then they'll have the link. They've just got to force this defence of Bath into one half of the field, get the ball out wide, and the overlap will always appear.
Well, 55-45 in terms of possession, but it's 30-0 on the scoreboard, where it counts from a Wigan point of view. Twigamala, they know all about him, of course, from his All Black days. This is Gary Connolly. That's better defence from Bath. They made Connolly come across the face of the play then. Didn't get through quite so easily. Edwards now looks for Johnson. Johnson steps around the substitute Rich Butland, and there's the next try. Andy Johnson, only 21, an Academy International.
Scorer for Wigan, number 12, Mick Cassidy.
Once again, a beautiful pass by Shaun Edwards. He just put the substitute through there, and that really was good play. Andy Johnson will be pleased by that. But you can see how, Jamie, that the defence once again is pulled to Shaun Edwards.
Yes, I think Bath players probably thought Edwards would do one of his wide missed passes, and then suddenly Johnson came on such a good line that really wrong-footed the hole. You see Waters, number 14, gone across. Butland, the replacement, was already going across in one step, and Johnson was in very comfortably.
Andy Johnson, former Academy International. That's for the under-19s. Former Wigan St Patrick's amateur. One of the prolific suppliers to the professional game. And Martin Hall proves he is pretty good with the kicking as well. 36-0.
You can see Ajomo is just hanging back, not in the straight line. As soon as Edwards runs to him, sends a substitute through for a very simple try. Basic football, but effective.
Well, Steve Ojomo has gone off, and Nigel Redman has come on for Bath. The first change, tactically, by the Bath team. We've got Slightholme, of course, in the blood bin at the moment. Good tackling from O'Connor. Bath will be anxious to get this ball out of their own quarter. Mike Catt felt that from Neil Cowie. And that was high from Cowie again. That's 2 from Cowie. And all the Wigan crowd are booing him.
And rightly so. On the scoreline at 36, and you're against an opponent that doesn't really know it. Richard Butland really felt this. He's only just come on the paddock. And it's no good. The prop forward Neil Cowie looking at the referee Russell Smith. And rightly so that the Wigan crowd boo that man.
I think Bath are going to get the sympathy vote pretty early on in this game, Eddie.
I wonder whether it'll be the same down at Twickenham on the 25th of May. Wigan will certainly have that in their back of the mind, there's no doubt about it. Sanders, let's see what Bath can do on the attack now. Bath against Wigan, don't forget, at Twickenham. Sky Sports 2, 25th of May, 2 o'clock. And I rather fancy Steve-O will be down there with you, Jamie, just to add a little bit of colour to the proceedings.
He'll be very welcome at HQ.
I'm looking forward to it. I might have a little bet too, which may surprise you, Jamie.
What will surprise me is the money coming out of the pocket, to be frank with you.
You're absolutely right. This is de Glanville. De Glanville almost through the middle. It needed a desperate tackle from Martin Hall, and it was. It was on the last tackle, though. It's the turnover. Maybe Bath just didn't hear the referee's call. of fire now.
Well, we saw good skills there by Phil de Glanville. We know what he's capable of.
Johnson, that's a great tackle on him by Butland. Of fire to Craig Murdoch, Radlinski, Johnson, Connolly, Edwards. Look out for Robinson out wide. Robinson had to stop though and come back for the pass. But well done, Bath, they closed the door.
Getting through a lot of work is Phil de Glanville, not only in attack but in defence. He really is trying his hardest. But you can see that Bath are really dragging now. They're looking for the breath.
First
not
touch
moving.
for Quinnell, and try for Quinnell. Only just on the field, and Scott Quinnell just cut through them again, and there's another try. Welsh international Scott Quinnell.
Well, you can see that the Bath defence just hang off. They hang around there rather than move forward. And Nigel Redmond was the big culprit there. It was quite an easy try. Running the different angles. They're not used to this at all. You can see the dummy runner. But I'm afraid that Redmond had moved up far too easy. It's got to be a one-line of defence, Jamie.
Yes, and you can't miss those first up tackles. There's Redmond in the gap there. And it really makes it very, very difficult to really tackle people like Quinnell. He'll be up for this game.
Well, he certainly will be, because, as I'm sure you're aware now, Scott Quinnell is making a return to rugby union with the Richmond club in the second division. But he's earning his call tonight in this clash of the codes for Wigan. And he had a big smile on his face, didn't he, when he got over for the 4 points. Here's Martin Hall again. Martin Hall misses. First miss from Martin Hall. Yes, it didn't get over the top of the crossbar, Martin, but it's 14 points to 0.
Lacey circled is Redmond, and the big fella went through. Missed him easy. Quinnell will enjoy that. First touch of the ball, 4 points.
I can tell you that John Slightholm has returned out of the blood bin. I can tell you though that Jonathan Callard, I think, has gone off to the blood bin, and Neil McCarthy has come on for him. Well, it's a tough call, Jamie, to ask them to come into this match so soon after all the celebrations, obviously, from the weekend.
It most certainly is, and also to adapt the disciplines. I mean, just looking at the defensive line of Wigan and seeing how straight and organised it is, and, you know, you just don't get that overnight, I'm sure.
Well, Twiggamala said, didn't he, before the match, and Martin O'Fara said it before, that it took them a long, long time, and Scott Quinnell, it takes them years to perfect the defensive line that is needed in rugby league. There's the up and under though from Robinson, Andy Robinson, a knock on, that will be play on, it's going to be 6 to go, and this is Adebayo, just run out of options and just run out of ideas. 6 tackles to go here for Bath, their best opportunity. Andy Robinson again, Haag is there, so too is McCarthy. McCarthy is the man at dummy half. He gets the ball away to Waters, and it's desperate defence now from Wigan. This is the first real opportunity that Bath have had. Here's Mike Catt. Sanders was the dummy half. And Pearce again.
Will we see the kick now for the first time? Apply the pressure.
They fancy the drop goal! They missed it though. Mike Catt sliced it off the boot. Tell him, Jamie, it's only 1 point for a drop goal in this game though, will you?
1 point will be enough on the board for Bath just to score against Wigan. But good pressure from Bath. Their spirit is showing. At least they're being, you know, as resilient as they possibly can be.
And this crowd, and full marks to them as well, very sympathetic to their cause. 14 points to 0. Great sporting contest. A night that sport really can be proud of.
And probably the first time I've ever seen a Wigan crowd cheering on the opposition. Good to see as well. They wanted to nearly will that over that point.
Simon Horton, legs pumping, as he does so often in Super League. Here is Edwards in a lot of space. He finds Rob Smythe. Smythe gets away from Catt, and also he gets away from Waters. This movement continues. It's of fire. Not the best pass from a fire, it bounces forward, and Mike Catt has got it back for Bath.
Good tackle by Nigel Redmond on a fire there. He swung him around like a rag doll.
Ed Pears, he's been pretty impressive since he came. It's Neil McCarthy, I beg your pardon. He's been pretty impressive since he came on.
This is a mistake. This is a mistake. It was a swinging arm from Martin Offiah, of all people. Well, Martin Offiah made the mistake first, didn't like it, and started throwing the arms. Whoops, there it is, went right over the top. And when you get a scoreline at 40-0, we just don't need that.
Here's McCarthy again, taking Bath to the quarter line. Sanders, the dummy half. The runner there is Pearce. Sanders again in a dummy half. Mike Catt, lovely break from Catt, he's got support. Oh, Robinson, he should have taken it. If Andy Robinson had claimed that, it would have been a try.
Good play by Ian Sanders. He worked the blind side. Catt read it well, but I'm afraid the big fella bombed it. Andy Robinson. His moment of glory was there.
Great tackle by Slightholme on Connolly. Well, they will be encouraged by that. This is Johnson.
Jamie's got a great brain, hasn't he, Mike Catt? You could see him calling for the blind side. And the combination with Ian Sanders, I'd love to see them play rugby league on a regular basis.
Well, if you get your checkbook out, you might be able to, but it was super play from Bath, as you rightly say. And Andy Robinson, normally an open side flanker, catches those every day of the week.
Not tonight, unfortunately. Oh, Edwards, acres of space. Offiah dumps it over the top. Forward pass.
The tide might be turning here. The referee's given something in Bath's favour. It was a try-saving decision too, I think.
Well, he couldn't have missed this one. You can see the switching of Offiah and Jason Robinson. This is Catt. Now, it was a good switch to the blind side, and you can see he's got strong upper body strength. Martin Hall doesn't usually miss those. All he had to do was take the ball, and Andy Robinson, what a moment of glory that would have been. Because Wigan, I can assure you, their main objective in this game is to ensure that Bath do not get 1 point.
Well, there's Mike Catt and a super break. I think Robinson was just looking at the try line, took his eye off the ball momentarily, but he's had a cracking end of the season, Mike Catt.
He's just trying to attract the referee's attention there to the fact that Jonathan Callard is about to come back onto the field. That's a penalty to Bath.
Can't help himself, can he, Sean Edwards? Such a great competitor. Had a little just fingertip in there, just brought it out with the elbow.
Don't think he has found touch. Radlinski nearly picked that ball up. Well, we can go downstairs, and Bill has got some news of all these cuts and bumps and bruises for us, I think.
Well, incredibly, Bath reckon they've got 4 players in the blood bin at the moment, which of course means that they've still got room to manoeuvre with substitutions. I reckon they're going to need them. They've got 3 subs on at the moment, and remarkably, Wigan are down to 12 men just now, because Neil Cowie has come off with an ankle injury, and he hasn't been replaced, so they're obviously feeling fairly comfortable about life.
Referee has got them here for a knock-on. There it was, even though Ian Sanders got his foot to the ball. First handling error from him, and the little scrum half-turned hooker tonight playing well.
Yeah, no question, he's done really well. You know, normally a scrum half, as you say, to be asked to play hooker against Wigan. Great effort from the boy.
Jason Robinson. He's such an elusive character. Good tackling, though, by Andy Robinson. Connolly from dummy half. Robinson's after him again, but he gets the pass away to Johnson, and Johnson slips the net from 2, runs straight at the referee. That's great play. But
Good tackle. It was a great tackle from the full-back. He got back good.
The space here for Rob Smythe to try and exploit. Now it's Cowie, and the ball was stolen.
That's got to be a penalty, though. There was more than one man in attendance.
Mike Catt looking at the referee, looking at the touch judge. They're having a conversation.
There you see, there's 4 men on it.
I mean, to be frank with you, Steve, it's a natural rugby union thing to do, to rip the ball off them. You know, that is a natural thing, so it's a quite right decision, but it's a bit harsh for the rugby union lads.
It's understandable, is what you say. Different set of rules for them, of course, tonight. Quinnell, oh, he spun and looked for the line. And Johnson goes through the gap. Oh, Murdoch has picked up the loose ball. It bounced off his chest, but he managed to retain possession, and Murdoch gets the try. Well, an understandable mistake it might have been down here, but Wigan have made them pay again. And the difference at the moment is that the ball is sticking for Wigan, and Bath are just dropping it.
But once again, it wasn't the best pass from Hall, but C. Johnson, the substitute, beautiful pass. It's all about support play, and that really was good by the substitute, Craig Murdoch. He'll remember that for a long time.
But it's also the numbers as well that Wigan had available to them. It's a bit fortuitous, certainly, but, you know, they're in the right position at the right time, and it's paying big dividends for them at the moment. And Bath have had a good spell. Dare I say it, the last 10 minutes, I think they've done pretty well, because it could have easily been 50, 60 points.
Craig Murdoch, the substitute. He too is a scrum half, a try in each of his last two against Bradford Bulls and Paris Saint-Germain. And the Bath players underneath the post there while Martin Hall prepares for this conversion attempt. Well, they're blowing hard and they don't know quite what's hit them. Another 2 points have hit them from Martin Hall. 46-0. 8 tries so far.
2 men go to Andy Johnson, and you can see the run through, and the man that's marked with an X really has to fill in the gap. He doesn't, and once the pass was there, Craig Murdoch gleefully gets to that. A lot of problems in defence for the Bath side.
I hope Bath have negotiated no injury time in this game. It's the last thing they want.
From the kick-off, Bath get the possession, and it's the big fella, Nigel Redman.
Interesting to see that the Wigan outfit practicing now for what they are going to have to do at Twickenham, May 25th. And when you're 46-0 up, then you can start to practice against the side that they will meet, Jamie.
Well, I hope they do get a few kick-offs in that game, Steve O, because it means Bath are scoring a few points.
Ed Pearce takes the tackle. Just a minute of this first half remaining. 46 points to 0. A lot of people will say exactly what we expected. But I bet Bath didn't expect to be hit by quite such an avalanche. The kick from Cat sliced off the outside of the boot. It's on the last tackle.
He wasn't happy with it either, Mike Cat. He's normally a much better kicker than that. Very blustery conditions here at Main Road. Very difficult for anyone trying to catch the kick. So maybe that could be a key in the second half by the Bath outfit.
Mike Cat kicking well in general play, but Bath as yet have not had the opportunity to kick a conversion. 46-0. Up the middle goes Quinnell. Support arrives from a fire, and there is the 9th Wigan try in the first half. And a hat-trick for Martin Afire.
Hat-trick for Wigan tonight. Number 5, Martin Afire.
Support play, but another good long, strong run there from Quinnell. Upper body strength there, just brushes off Phil de Glanville back on the inside. I'm afraid the fullback went far too high. Martin Afire, wonderful positioning by Martin Afire. Full credit to him. He got himself into the position so that once the pass came, he'd definitely go through.
Yes, well, it's Quinnell going between Sanders and Redmond that does the damage. He got over the gain line so easily, and the one thing I think Bath have learned from this first half, if you lose concentration for a second, you're going to get punished, and punished heavily.
Martin Afire's hat-trick then in the first half here, and it brings up the 50-point mark. Martin Hall trying to add the extras and gets 2 more. 52 points to 0. And there's the half-time siren, and that will come as a relief to Bath, but not to Wigan and Martin Afire, who has shot.
Big players coming from deep, because we're not used to that sort of thing, and our forwards can go up and tackle, but they can't go up and drift and tackle. So once Wigan move it wide with overlapping players coming from the other side of the field, we've had a 5-on-3, 4-on-3 every time. So we're going to keep working.
How about the pace of it?
Oh, the pace is phenomenal for our forwards again. It is we just can't get back in position. I keep looking at our forwards. We're going to come in attacking us when our forwards are going with the back to the ball, back to the 10-metre line, and it's something we just don't experience. It'll do us a world of good. A world of good.
That's one way of looking at it. Thanks very much, Brian. Second half just about to get underway. Let's go back to Eddie and Steve-O.
Thanks, Bill, and he's absolutely right, Stuart Barnes, when he said during half-time that Bath would be making notes and would be learning from this. That's obvious from the words there of Brian Ashton. It's Bath who are in possession with Ed Pearce, and as you heard Brian Ashton say, they are determined to get on the score sheet tonight, and I tell you what, they will raise the roof here at Main Road, the crowd that's in, if Bath do get over that Wigan line. The news from the Wigan dressing room, by the way, is, and it shows you just the way this game is being played and the spirit in which it's being played, Wigan have relaxed the interchange rule as far as Bath are concerned. It means that they can swap and change and chop and move about and use as many substitutions as they wish in this second half. That's a great gesture from Wigan, Steve-O.
Wonderful gesture. They've taken in the right spirit. We said at half-time that the Wigan crowd, they raised as one when he went for that field goal, Mike Cann. But I know that the Wigan players will be keen to ensure it's a nil. They don't want Bath to score anything.
O'Fire was lucky then. He let the kick from Robinson bounce, and Andy Robinson was the man who was following up. Now he's got to try and stop Connolly. Connolly is stopped. Rob Smythe has gone off, and Mick Cassidy returns. And here is Neil Cowie. Bounces off the challenge from Adebayo, but can't get away from the next two. Lumsden and Ojomo. Quick play the ball. That was Murdoch who gave it to O'Connor. O'Connor picks himself up. Hall, Murdoch, Edwards, Radlinski. Off the ground from Radlinski, straight into the arms of the hooker Sanders, and immediately Bath surrender possession again, and the tackle count goes down to 0.
Well, that was a shame. They had the possibility there of getting possession and working the 6. But look at Quinnell going forward. He's relishing this.
Yeah, I think he has a point to prove, Steve-O. O'Connor gets there. Terry O'Connor, his second for the big prop forward, and Bath pay the penalty again for losing possession in the danger zone. They have got to hold on to this football, Bath, if they are to stop Wigan getting the 100 and score themselves.
It was a good run from Quinnell, and then you see how they work the blind side. They're held back. You've got to move forward. They failed to do that. Ian Sanders couldn't hold the big fella. It was a nice switch, though, from Hall, and the strength gets him through. Nothing they could do about it. De Glanville tried, but the weight of the man took him away.
Well, when you've got big forwards running at backs, it's going to be difficult for the Union lads. You had Sanders, normally a scrum half, and, you know, these are big, powerful guys coming at pace. That's the key thing, I imagine. This is the great chance that Bath had to reclaim the ball.
Yep, they missed that opportunity. And even rugby league sides know that they cannot give Wigan anything. You can't give them a start. They are so professional.
O'Connor's second try then, and Martin Hall now trying to improve that, and he doesn't drift that one in. It went straight, and what's more, it ended up about 8 metres from the post, and he has a little wry smile to the bench, Martin Hall. 56-0. So not the best start to the second half Bath wanted, but they were so close, Jamie, to getting that possession, but when they get gifted the ball by Wigan like that, they've got to hang on.
Yes, that's absolutely right, and I suppose it's about communication and indeed concentration. And I think on this particular play, they've got to hold it for all 6.
Yes, they've got to see out their set of 6. They haven't. Ojomo has dropped it, and they will bring them back for the knock-on. It went forward from Ojomo, then bounced off Edwards.
See the ball there, it loses it now. It doesn't have to hit the ground because it hit Edwards first. There you see it. Ojomo did not have control of that. For those rugby union fans, that means it's a knock-on from Bath. That's why Wigan got the head and feed.
And a frightening statistic, really, about Bath in this match. They have only held on to the football for a full set of 6 tackles, as Wigan have picked up for the forward pass. They've only held on, Bath, for the 6 sets of tackles 6 times.
Definitely forward there. Cassidy not happy with it, knows that a man overrun it. Now the biggest problem for Wigan there, you see the scoreline 56-0, is when they start going into individual play. But Sean Edwards will try to keep a tight control of that.
Adebayo plays the ball. Bath try to launch another attack. Ed Pearce is brought to the floor. That's Sanders, the dummy half, and he gets it away to Redmond. Good tackling by Simon Horton. Let's take a look at some of the statistics from this match. 61 tackles by Wigan, 53 by Bath. Missed tackles, 47 missed tackles for Bath, 6 for Wigan. Clean breaks, Wigan have made 7, Bath yet to make one. Hit-ups, 59 times Wigan have carried the ball up to Bath's 65. And handling errors, well, 6 all. Kicks in general play, Bath trying to kick their way out of trouble, 5-0. That was a good kick in general play, and it's pinned a fire down near his own try line, and a great chase led by Philip de Glanville. De Glanville playing the captain's part.
Yes, absolutely right, but it's only goes so far, I'm afraid, as Robinson takes it out from the try line, but great chasing and a cracking tackle by de Glanville.
Cowie bounces off a Jomo, that's more like it.
The crowd loved that. I'm not so sure that Cowie did. It's been a real battle royal.
Well, he came up with a big one in the Pilkington Cup final on Saturday against Leicester.
And Neil Cowie has given away a silly penalty. And Sean Edwards runs straight up to the prop forward and says, hey, come on. Get your head sorted out.
And Bath are not taking the kick, they're running it. And this now is Callard. They want a try. Bath, they could have taken the 2 that were on offer, but they want the try. Good ball. Ed Pearce. Scrambling defence now by Wigan. It's their turn to play on the back foot. Sanders to Cat. Good pass. So close was Rich Butland. Desperate Wigan defence now. Sanders from dummy half, and Wigan scrambling to keep him out. And they're all offside, Wigan. Another penalty to Bath.
He played the advantage of the referee, Russell Smith. Another chance, another 6.
And they're running it again. Great legs here from Redmond. First tackle, they've got a wonderful opportunity. Bath here. Cat tries to get round Cassidy. Stands in the tackle, they did well.
He's got Sean Edwards, who came off the line too quickly. He was offside, they're on again.
Another big chance here. And it's great strength from Slate-Home. But Connolly comes down and pulls the England winger down.
Tremendous tackle by Connolly there, ball and all. Slate-Home looked as though he was heading for the line.
Cat, short ball, Pearce. Well, this is the biggest examination of this Wigan defence all night. And he's in! And that is just reward for Bath and all that pressure, and particularly for Jonathan Callard. The biggest cheer of the night, everyone in this ground on their feet. Wigan supporters, I notice a Leicester jersey in there too. And Jonathan Callard will remember that for a long, long time.
Super play by Jonathan Callard. He could see that the second marker was taking a breather. Scott Quinnell was caught there. He went on the blind side. Wigan's second marker was not moving. Quinnell there left stranded. And Jonathan Callard, didn't it raise the roof?
Well, it most certainly did, and you've got to take your hats off to Bath. They've come storming back, and yeah, I may be well biased here, but I think they deserve to get something on the board. And it was ironic that it was the ill discipline by Cowie that really started it off.
Sure was. It was the penalty that lifted their spirits.
And he gets the extras too, Jonathan Callard. 56 points to 6. Well, I thought there would be the biggest cheer of the night when Bath got over the line, and so it proved to be. And I don't think there is a person inside the stadium who would begrudge Bath that score. Perhaps Steve-O would, Jamie, but nobody else.
Well, that may be, but so might Sean Edwards, the Wigan captain, and demand a bit more out of his troops.
I noticed actually when Wigan came out for the start of this, second half. They got in a huddle and Edwards was wagging the finger and laying the law down.
Laying the law he may be, but it was Edwards that gave away another penalty. He was miles offside.
Here's Edwards now, and this is Simon Horton.
Good tackle by Nigel Redmond. Well, that really has lifted their spirits. It's warmed the fans too. They're really getting involved now.
Number 20 there, just going through the picture, by the way, is Neil McCarthy. He's changed his jumper at half-time. So Neil McCarthy now wearing 20, but that was great defence on that occasion from Butland. Brave stuff.
Put his body well and truly on the line. Well, the Wigan players looking towards maybe an obstruction, the shepherd there, but play on, said Russell Smith.
Oh, great break. Great break. And this is Callard again, the try scorer, looking for support. It arrives now, and that was Adebayo, and the tackle on him was from Johnson. Oh, Bath are running riot. Oh, Jomo.
It was a try saver from Andy Johnson.
Now this is de Glanville. There is Adebayo going into dummy half. Gets away from Cassidy. Oh, then loses his foot. Mike Catin at dummy half. Back it goes, and Sanders is trapped, but he gets the kick in nonetheless. Well, it's good stuff from Bath. Johnson was trapped then in his own 20-metre zone. Robinson, good tackling. Tackle from de Glanville.
He's working hard in defence, isn't he? The skipper of the Bath side, de Glanville. And there's some bone trenches coming through. Some good work in defence from Nigel Redmond too. Helped along by Ed Pearce. They're really lifted by that try.
O'Connor, 10 metres inside his own half.
I don't want to tempt fate here, but Wigan are winning this second half.
56-6. Great tackling. Callard really getting stuck in now. That try has given him such hope. He's offside. It bounced off a Bath player, and Ed Pearce just picked up the loose ball.
League rules, even if the ball comes away, you're not allowed to touch it if you're in an offside position. There's nothing that Ed Pearce could do about it. Hadn't time to call a board meeting, it bounced straight to him.
So pressure coming in here again now from Wigan. Have they been stung by that try that they've conceded? O'Connor certainly has. Gets the ball away to Hall. Murdoch, Cassidy. Cassidy, the workhorse of this side. They've certainly learned their lesson from the first half, Bath. They are moving up in a straight line in defence. Connolly. Good tackle from Majomo. And Bath winning this half in terms of possession. And as Jamie says, on the scoreboard, second half too. Good pressure from Bath again, forcing the mistakes, but it's 6 to go for Wigan. And they're in possession here with Quinnell. Referee Russell Smith wiping that tackle count down. Here's Edwards. Long ball out wide. Cassidy. And Cassidy will get in. Nick Cassidy with a try. Scores second half now, Jamie, a level.
Try scorer for Wigan.
Cassidy with a try.
Mick Cassidy.
Shaun Edwards is not classed as one of the greatest players in the world today. The dummy on the inside. He knew that the defence was tight. And the long ball out wide. Cassidy easy in for the 4.
Yes, well, numbers told in the end. I still think they would Radlinski outside Cassidy as he went in as well. And, you know, I think the Bath legs in defence are going to give pretty soon because they've given everything to that first 10-15 minutes. Yes, it is Radlinski, I think, on the outside as well. So there was plenty of numbers there for Wigan. But
just shows you the quality, Jamie, though, of Shaun Edwards. The long ball took away 4 men. Extra space out wide.
And Mick Cassidy was home without a problem. And Martin Hall misses with the conversion attempt. So it stays at just 2 tries to Wigan in this second half, but 60 points to 6. Bath should not feel too despondent about it yet, because Wigan came out against Paris Saint-Germain on Sunday and won 74-6 and ran in 14 tries. Radlinski kicks off. Cat is underneath it. Pearce again. Big back row forward, only 20 years old, 6 foot 6 inches tall, 17 stone 5 pounds. Well, I wonder whether Wigan have eased off the pressure in this second half, or whether they will give Bath credit for the way they've come out second half. Let's hear from Joe Lydon.
Joe, until Mick Cassidy scored just then, Bath are outscoring you in this second half.
And they've really given it to us in the second half. They've upped the tempo of the game, and you've got to give a lot of them credit, because they've really got the pride on the jerseys now, and they're playing with a lot of heart despite the score.
It must be difficult for your guys to keep up the sort of momentum that they got going with in the first half.
Yes, I mean, we didn't expect to open the lead up as much as we did. We've asked the lads to throw it around a bit and play as attractive rugby as possible. Basically throw caution to the wind as if we were trying to catch up. But now as we speak, Bath are playing some excellent rugby.
They're playing some super rugby, and that's a Jomo on the halfway line. 44 metres they made, but the ball spun through a whole host of hands, and now they're trapped in possession. Ed Pearce again, he took a bang on the head, just couldn't get the ball away for the kick. And that's where the discipline will have to come in, Jamie, as he gets the knee from Scott Quinnell. Pearce should have then put the boot to the ball.
Well, yes, I mean, but to be fair to young Pearce, he is a rookie. I mean, he's hardly played a first-team game for Bath season. He was in their Pilkington Cup squad at the weekend, but really the knock was too much for him. And, you know, he's really taken it on, Pearce, and there was some lovely hands from Bath in the play preceding that.
They're keeping the ball alive, and they are posting a bit of a warning as well. It was well taken there, wasn't it, by a Jomo? But they are posting a bit of a warning to Wigan that when they do go to Twickenham on the 25th of May, that they do have the skills. They didn't make a break in the first half, but they've made 3 clean ones, to my knowledge, in the second so far.
And they've turned the ball over so far tonight 3 times. Don't forget, Bath against Wigan at Rugby Union rules, Saturday the 25th of May, 2 o'clock, Sky Sports 2. You can watch it with us. And the word from the Wigan bench is that they are pretty impressed with young Ian Sanders. I say young, he's 24, the little scrum half who has turned to hooking tonight for Bath. They're impressed by him, and no wonder. This is Johnson. Johnson is hauled down.
Another long ball from Edwards, perhaps. They're pretty tight.
It's Murdoch now. He found Horton. A great defence from Bath. That's the turnover.
Super tackle by de Glanville. He really has worked hard in defence. He's impressed me.
Yes, I think that 2 established players, de Glanville and Mike Catt, they've been competitive. They haven't given an inch, have they? Well, no. Certainly not voluntarily.
No, they'll prove an handful when they go down to Twickenham against this Wigan outfit.
And Philip de Glanville, he's earned his call tonight. 11 tackles in this match so far. 60 points to 6. The crowd just hushed for a moment. That was the man who caught the eye on the Wigan bench, Sanders. There he is again. And he gets the pass out to Adebayo. Connolly wrestles him to the floor. There's Sanders again, directing operations at the play of the ball. Good kick downfield. Much better kick from Callard, but perhaps just a little bit of meat behind it.
They do have the wind behind them. There's this Bath outfit, but he's worked hard, Jonathan Callard. Jamie, is he probably the best kicker in open play in rugby union at the moment?
I'm not sure he's the best kicker in open play. You know, playing at fullback, he doesn't get the chance like a fly half does, where Mike Catt's playing at the moment. But certainly he can do his fair share. That's for sure. I think on that occasion he was looking for a bit of a breather, or the side was.
It's Wigan in possession with O'Connor, and there is Ed Pearce moving in quickly to cut him down. And look at the size of those feet on Ed Pearce. He is in size 16 boots. Steve-O and I could fit into them. This is Quinnell. Quinnell with an angled run. And Mike Catt, the man who brings him down.
You'd have to lose a bit of weight, Eddie, for that, to get into those boots, that's for sure.
Edwards. Good ankle tap on Edwards. Last tackle for Wigan. 69 metres they've made. The next 10 are important, with Cassidy and O'Fire looking for his fourth. Was he in? Did he get it down?
I don't think so.
The referee looks at the touch judge who puts the flag up. And he holds the clock, taking time off. And he wants to look at the screen. And it's going to be in the hands now of the video referee. O'Fire convinced he got the ball down. Did he?
Well, it's a desperate attempt at a tackle. I don't know about this one. Perhaps he hit the corner flag, but it's a touch and go one. I wouldn't want to make that decision.
I think he'll give it. I thought he touched the corner flag, but he doesn't. He misses it. That is a fair try.
Referee Russell Smith waits for the decision of the video referee. Martin O'Fire waits for the decision. And the try is given. On a normal day, that would not have been given, I don't think, by touch judge or referee. But the new technology gives Martin O'Fire his fourth try in this clash of the codes. They didn't need the help from the video ref, but they got it.
Once again, you can see that the defence is caught short. 3 men going there. Cassidy having a ball out wide. And it was a good finish. It had to be scored.
Yes, it most certainly did. I mean, Martin O'Fire certainly knows where this try line is. And he does really well because, for all money, you know, the naked eye would think he was in touch, wouldn't it?
Well, I certainly thought that the corner flag had gone. But the long ball out wide, and it was good in and out. Just enough to get past Sligo. I'm afraid de Glanville just a little bit too late.
Well, Martin O'Fire said as soon as the referee went for the screen that he got it down, and the pictures proved he was right. Change of kicker for Wigan, Gary Connolly. Well, Andy Farrell off the field, but Wigan 64 points to 6. They haven't kicked a goal yet, but they've scored 3 tries. Quarter of the game remaining.
It could feel like a whole game to Bath, I think. This last 20 will be the tester, won't it?
I was going to say, this is the test of their legs, isn't it now, coming up? A lot of people thought they would be calling for oxygen by half-time, but to their credit, Bath, they have kept it going.
Well, they're getting themselves organised a little bit now. They were playing the ball very quickly, but now they're slowing the game down, and they're trying to dictate the play, and they're doing a damn good job, I'll tell you. Turning the ball back on the inside and using the forwards, not down the middle, but a little bit further out wide.
Match score 64-6, half-time score, Wigan 12, Bath 6. That's why we've got Jamie up here to keep us in touch with that vital statistic second half. Big kick downfield. O'Fire makes a mess of it. He was facing his own line. It's not a knock-on. They're after him, though. Great chasing. Led by Philip de Glanville again.
Big mistake, but look how he went at it. O'Fire, and the kick and chase was superb, led by the winger, John Slightholme. I just hope that Slightholme and Martin O'Fire get away in an open run. Let's see who really is the fastest in rugby.
Well, that's a terrible sight for Bath, isn't it, that Vaiga Twigamala has come back on for Neil Cowie. And there he is. Great tackling, though. And it was by Adebayo on the big fella. Radlinski through 2. Support from Murdoch. Murdoch's going to take him on his own. Great tackling again. This time by Butland. Out wide to Twigamala. Look out. Look out. Oh, brilliant. Round the corner to Edwards. Robinson, Murdoch. Out wide is Connolly. It could be 5 for O'Fire. O'Fire to the corner. 5 for number 5. He wants another look at it. But I'll tell him, for my money, that's a good try.
For once, Eddie's not sitting on the fence. But I think he's right. He gets it down again. That needed some scoring. Well done. But what tremendous play by Wigan. And what a superb piece of skills from Vaiga Twigamala. It looked for all the world as though he was stopped.
You've got the fifth Martin O'Fire try. The video ref took one look at it and was happy enough. And Bath, to their credit, were lining up behind the posts, waiting for the conversion attempt. But what a pass from Twigger-Marler in the build-up to that try. Fantastic.
Murdoch got the run, and then Twigger-Marler has just come back onto the field. Get out of the way. Look at this. Superb stuff. Edwards always there ready to support. Murdoch long ball out wide. I thought that Connolly would have thrown the dummy, but he played the teamwork and he paid off. Look at the strength, Jamie.
Oh, it's a terrific piece of skill. I mean, you can't coach that. That's born with, isn't it? And you know, once again, they're clinical. They finish off. Connolly, as you say, could have perhaps finished it himself. And Slightholme won't like being handed off by O'Fire, I can tell you that for nothing.
Martin Hall has taken the goal-kicking responsibilities back, and he's hit the post. 68-6. Watch that second half, Jamie, now.
Bath coming second.
The official attendance.
I'm blaming you, Eddie. You're the one that spotted Twiggy-Marler coming back on and said, uh-oh, trouble for Bath. Gosh, what an impact he made, didn't he?
Terrific impact. He's a great player.
Made by Rugby Union, of course.
I was expecting that. But Steve-O, Wigan have certainly honed him down and turned him into the player he is.
Yep, you may have made him, Jamie, but we've put the polish to him. And what polish. He really is a tremendous player. Even he will admit, the man that's doing the tackling now, go for it, Twigger-Marler, he says.
My cat is the man underneath that tackle.
I'm just saying that Twigger-Marler, he said it would take him 6 months. He didn't realise how fast and furious rugby league was. But he fits in nicely now.
He hammered Mike Catt into the ground then and was the first man to give him the hand to get up. He's that sort of bloke. High tackle from Simon Horton.
Swinging arm. The youngster getting a little bit excited there.
Wasn't too dangerous though, was it really? It was, you know, I've seen worse, to be frank with you.
Try telling Audley Lumsden that. 20,000 inside the ground tonight and a little bit more. And they have seen history, and it's been a pleasure and a privilege to be here. Here's the big fellow, Martin Haag. Little switch of play.
Nice to see that they are now running the angles.
Adam Vander. Now Ojomo. Wrestled to the floor by Simon Horton. Sanders. Oh, Mike Catt just took his eye off the ball for a moment there. Wigan have it back. But it's interesting, Jamie, that Wigan have pinpointed Sanders as the man who has made quite an impact here.
Yes, absolutely right, and a man that didn't make Bath's first team because of Andy Nicol, the Scottish scrum half, but he's made an impact today.
Sure has, and so has this fellow Martin O'Fire, but that's a great tackle. Oh, super tackle by Slightholme.
He may have handed him off. He may have handed him off for the try, but Slightholme says you're not getting away this time, man. And that was a superb tackle. Shoulder in, the legs pumping.
Well, I did say that Slightholme might be a bit miffed at being handed off by Martin O'Fire. And I tell you what, in 2 weeks' time, it'll be worth watching O'Fire against Slightholme, I tell you that.
Well, you could see they were going eyeball to eyeball there. They're getting the message across.
Good stuff from Slightholme again. He got the pass out over the top of the man, and look at the legs from Adam Vander pumping. And how many does it take to bring him down? And that's dangerous. Mick Cassidy, he just lifted the legs at the wrong moment then, and it could have been so dangerous.
Well, you could see that it's an offence to even put the arm on the inside, the legs, to even attempt to go through. Thankfully, the sense of mind to just stop halfway through. He didn't follow it through, thankfully. But he knows better than that. There's Mick Cassidy. He's been around long enough.
They didn't find touch Bath, so they've given Wigan possession again. O'Fire to Connolly, and then Connolly on to Cassidy. And Cassidy clobbered by his opposite number, Philip de Glanville. 8 penalties to 6. Bath ahead in that department. O'Connor straight up the middle. Support from Hall. And Bath have had more possession in this second half. But it's Wigan in charge of the football now with Quinnell. Back to Murdoch. Oh, out wide to Radlinski. Radlinski. It was very well intercepted indeed by Mike Catt.
Did well. He knew the pass was coming on the inside. Put himself between the ball and the receiver. Oh, big hit from Connolly. Put the shoulder to the work there.
Adebayo felt that. But, Steve-O, the big players in any sport come to the fore, and Mike Catt tonight has really played an outstanding role in this Bath team. All right, soundly beaten, but he's never taken a backward step, and neither Slightholme.
Well, we mentioned the fact that both Catt and Callard, they've worked well, and Wigan realise that when those two get the protection of the forward in the rugby union game, that the Wigan's three-quarters are going to have a handful.
That's a heck of a kick from Catt. Well picked out of the air by Robinson. Good chase, though, again from this Bath outfit. Led on that occasion by Fraser Waters.
That's going to be the problem in the union game when they get caught deep.
Twigamala. He's not held. Now, well, he said he was. So he got up and played the ball. Radlinski was broken. Play ahead of them for Wigan. Bath are now struggling to get back into the defensive line. They are puffing for tugs now. Here's Johnson, ducks under one tackle, still going Johnson. He just slipped the net then. Andy Johnson, right under the sticks, his second. Young Andy Johnson. ...21 years old.
Upper body strength. They went far too high. The ball came loose, and you can see that they failed to move up in a straight line, but they went far too high here. Bang, bang, he's got so much strength. And the substitute, Andy Johnson, gleefully raises the arm. He'll remember that.
Yes, and Bath will be disappointed. They battled so well, but, you know, you can see it's the big lads, the forwards. Martin Haag there with the headband missing that one. And, you know, it was a side-on tackle, one you'd expect him to get. And once, you know, these Wigan lads get clear, they make you pay. And Bath will be very disappointed with that particular effort.
Andrew Johnson won't be. He relished the moment when he scored the try. And now Martin Hall from in front of the posts adds the extra 2. 74 points to 6. But you get the feeling now that Bath are beginning to run out of steam.
Well, it was interesting while that kick was being taken, and we see this one more time. The Bath physios were stretching the legs because of cramp setting in. And really, this probably sums it up. It's just tired legs. It's tired minds also that makes you lose that concentration. Full credit to Wigan for making them pay. But it's not just the legs. I think it's the concentration as well that you lose.
Well, they don't come any tougher when it comes down to mental toughness than Wigan. They've been there, done that. World Club champions. And for a decade, they have led the way in rugby league. Great credit to our game, this Wigan outfit. And they're proving that tonight.
74-6, the return match. Well, this will whet the appetite of a lot of people for that return match, because it will be much, much closer than this, Steve-O. But you were indicating, was it before or during half-time, that you will have a few shillings on Wigan to win at Twickenham.
Yes, I will. But I must say...
I think Jamie was about to take you on then.
I must say that I said in my newspaper report that if Bath won tonight, I'd walk from the Sky Studios to the city of Bath itself.
Good job Wigan didn't know about that.
Well, I won't be doing that, I can assure you, for the Twickenham game.
Just don't forget to bring your wallet, Steve-O.
What's a wallet?
The Middlesex Sevens on Saturday, exclusively live on Sky Sports 2. Steve-O and I will be down at headquarters to watch Wigan's participation in that event. I wonder how they will do. After this, who knows? Radlinski meanwhile loses the ball. Murdoch tidies up. The referee says play on.
Well, in rugby league, perhaps he would have blown that, Russ Smith. When I say rugby league, 2 games, 2 teams who are playing rugby league. That was man-on-man, wasn't it? A 2-man-on-1, should I say.
Paris against Leeds Friday night on Sky Sports. The next instalment in the Super League here on Sky Sports. What a week this is. Paris on Friday night, Manchester tonight, and on Sunday we go to St Helens to take a look at the London Broncos. That's a top of the table battle. Saints on top, London currently third in the Super League. Great entertainment on the way. Twigamala, danger every time he gets the ball, but he's been pulled back for obstruction.
And that was one of our rules that we were showing you in the build-up to this big game. The obstruction rule, where you cannot use a man from your same side who stood in front to prevent the Bathman tackling. Nice bit of basketball work from Martin Afire, but you see how he runs there. And it was using the man across that prevented any chance of Bath getting towards him.
But Wigan have got the ball back. Johnson. Hall. Horton. Murdoch. Afire screaming for it out wide. He wants 6. Murdoch drops it under pressure. Well picked up by Slightholm again.
What a tackle from Mike Catt. That was the tackle of the night.
Flick out the back door into the arms of O'Connor.
Look at the tackle there. That was absolutely sensational.
Cassidy picks himself up. Wigan 10 metres from the line again. Quinnell. Good tackling again. It was Kevin Yates in there quickly, along with Callard. Edwards. He knows Afire wants his 6th. Afire call for it. Tries to go around the outside. Waits for support. It comes then from Robinson. Robinson dances in. 2 for Robinson.
Well, there's nothing that Catt could do on that occasion. A beautiful chip kick from Sean Edwards over the top there. Martin Afire, he did well to keep cool. He was not finished off. And on this occasion, Catt was beaten by the skills of Robinson.
I tell you what, with the pace of this game, Catt's done well to get there to try and make the tackle. Interesting that Wigan chose to kick. Haven't seen that most of the game. But well played Afire, standing up in the tackle, waiting for the support. An old twinkle toes here. I haven't seen somebody dance like this for some time on a rugby field.
Yes, he dazzled them with his little shimmy to the line, Jason Robinson, for the 15th Wigan try.
And I know one thing, Eddie. This has whetted the appetite for the Middlesex Sevens. Jason Robinson is back on great form.
He is indeed. Martin Hall misses. They haven't made 80. 78-6.
It's
respectability, though.
Yeah, it's 52 at half time, so I mean, 26-6. I think that's a great effort from Bath. Admittedly, Wigan have missed their conversions, haven't they?
Well, that's true, but the points have to be kicked or scored courtesy of the tries. And it's been a great effort from Bath. But we mustn't take much away from Wigan either, because it has been a wonderful exhibition of free-flowing rugby. Let's hear from one of the Bath heroes, John Slightholm. He's downstairs with Bill.
John's just getting his knee iced at the moment, having limped off a moment ago after a storming second-half performance from Bath. Do you think you've restored some pride?
Yeah, I think we had a very shock in the system in the first half, really. We tried very hard, we tackled it. It's just a defensive organisation, really. That's what let us down, and the one-on-one tackles. But we've got a little bit more organised in the second half. We're learning as the game goes on, and I think we've not disgraced ourselves today.
I think you were very disappointed to see that try given to Martin Afire via the big screen.
I thought the first one, especially the second one, was no doubt about it. The first one, I thought he touched the corner flag first, but it's the referee's decision, and I'm quite happy to stand by that.
But it's been a great tussle between you and Martin, hasn't it?
Yeah, I just wish I'd had a little bit of ball to have a run at him, really, which is a bit of a shame. But with this knee injury I've got, we're nearly in the corner there. This knee injury I've got is just pulling me back a little bit at the moment. So just take it easy, so we're ready for 2 weeks' time.
You have your revenge there, eh?
Definitely, without a shadow of a doubt.
Cheers.
It was a lovely little ball inside from Fraser Waters, and it had to be the knock-on from Jason Robinson that stopped Bath getting over for their second try.
Jonathan Callard looked as though he was set for the line. Ball back on the inside. Robinson did the right thing, but they'll still get head and feet here. Now then, let's see a special from Bath. Will they bring the full-back in? Will they do the angle run?
I think they're better off just going for a conventional back move. You know, that's what they do all season, rather than anything fancy. Just do a normal move they do in the backs.
Well, I tell you what, Jonathan Callard has learned how to feed a scrum.
Doesn't take long, does it?
Pearce. There was a man outside. It was Neil McCarthy who was screaming for that ball. There he is now. But by now the Wigan cover had shuttled across and the chance has gone. Sanders at dummy half. Redmond missed out. Cat puts his foot on the brake, gets the ball away, and Waters tackled by Twiggamala and Johnson. McCarthy again. Connolly stands up to him. That's 5 tackles gone. Little dink over the top. Too strong that time from Callard. But Callard and Cat and company, they can go home with their heads held high, Steve-O.
Well, a good option, wasn't it? Realised that there was no one at home, but it was just a little bit too strong. But they'll be happy with the second half performance, Jamie. I mean, they really have struggled in the first half. They can make any impression or get into the Wigan quarter, but they've done that several times in the second half.
They most certainly have, and we heard Phil de Glanville in a piece before the game started saying we want to go back to Bath with our heads high, and I think they can honestly do that. I know the scoreline doesn't look that way, but I think Bath could honestly do that from the north of England and the heart of rugby league country.
Chip over the top for O'Fire to chase. O'Fire's after it, and O'Fire gleefully, one-handed, touches down. That's his 6th try of the night. He's been hunting that for the last 10 minutes, Martin O'Fire. 6 tries tonight, a lovely chip through, and O'Fire with all the pace and the presence of mind to get downward pressure.
Well, it's a shame, isn't it? It was a beautiful chip over through. We wanted to see John Flightholme against this man, but of course Flightholme is off the field now. Fraser Waters had no chance against this guy. Nice kick from Murdoch.
Well, I suppose Martin O'Fire's been doing this for some considerable time for Wigan, and really he was always going to be first to put the final nail in the coffin for Bath, if you like. That was given some time ago, but in terms of on the scoreline, and as you say, Steve-O, it would have been interesting had it been John Flightholme there, and Martin O'Fire's enjoyed it, I'm sure, this evening.
Well, 6 tries for Martin O'Fire, the Wigan winger. That almost certain to be the last try of this match, because we're way past the 80-minute mark now. 16 tries for Wigan, just the 1 for Bath, but they have acquitted themselves well in this match. And Steve-O, as a sporting exercise and as a clash of the codes, well worth it.
Without doubt. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, the crowd have, and we'll see that when the hooter goes.
Yes, everyone around this ground get to their feet. It's a standing ovation for these two sides, and why not? Wigan for their brilliance in attack, and Bath for their persistence, their sheer doggedness, and their determination not to be humiliated. And it's shake hands all round, and the message now is that they will meet again on May the 25th at Twickenham under rugby union rules. First blood to Wigan, though. They have won here, and won handsomely too. And we're now going to have the trophy that you saw in the Sky Sports studio presented to the winners, Wigan. John Hall shaking hands with all the Wigan players, but there's the Wigan captain, Sean Edwards, delighted man with Bill.
Sean, I think a fantastic first half for you, but credit to Bath, they certainly gave you a contest in the second half.
Yeah, the lads never give in, and full credit to Bath, as you said. A lot of teams would have put their heads down, but they showed that they're a champion team by, battling on.
You satisfied with that victory?
I was satisfied with the first half. The second half, we got a little bit fancy, and I think it was to be understood in the situation.
And now you've got to look forward to Twickenham.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Tough encounter for us at Twickenham. It's very hard for us to learn all the rules at rugby union.
But, you know, we're going to give it our best shot.
Thanks, Sean. I think you've got a trophy to collect.
He has indeed. Sean Edwards goes forward to collect the historic 1996 Rugby Challenge Trophy. And he will receive it from Kath Hetherington, President of the Rugby Football League, and also Bill Bishop, OBE, President of the Rugby Football Union. Sean Edwards, another piece of silverware for this Wigan phenomenon. Thoroughly deserved, but Steve-O, isn't the appetite whetted now for that day at Twickenham?
Yes, Bath showed in that second half that they do have the skill and the ability. Isn't that a wonderful shot there? Congratulating each other, the players, exchanging shirts. This has been an honour to have been here.
Yes, tremendous to be here. Part one has gone Wigan's way in a landslide. Bath come up now to receive their mementos of the evening. And the crowd here at Main Road rises to both sides. And why not? They will see each other again at Twickenham on the 25th of May. But this has been a marvellous sporting occasion, and it's been a privilege and a pleasure to be here. Wigan 82, Bath 6. First half's over, second half to come at Twickers.